Okay, so let's take a look at what kinds of things you'll need for this project. And they're all here, so we'll just go through them one by one. This is just like a black kind of stretchy string. I got this off my shoes. There's small beads where it's gold on the outside and black on the inside, and you can get this at any bead shop or Michael's. You will also need black small tube beads. The other things you'll need are both head pins and eye pins. These are the shorter ones. They do come in different lengths. So this is the head pin, and this is the eye pin. Other things you'll need are sliders. I took these off of a bracelet. These have 2 holes on each side, so they have 4 holes in total. I got these at a Value Village. These different sliders are from Blue Moon. They come in a package. There's 49 pieces. They're silver, and it was about $1.50 for each package. You'll also need pliers, the needle nose, the pointy nose, as well as your cutters. And that's all you need. You will be making the little fringes, or the little connector pieces that you're going to be connecting everything together. So you'll need your eye pins, your short eye pins, and then those small little black and gold beads. And you're going to take 3 of the small glass beads into your hand, just because it's a little bit easier when you put it through. And then basically you put the 3 beads through the eye pin. Make sure that you do have enough room at the end. Words, you're going to be twisting it the complete opposite direction and making a loop with it. Okay, so that can be a task in itself. And depending how strong your pliers are, it may take a while or not. And this is what they'll look like. And you have to make sure that both ends are flush with each other, so they're in the same direction. So this one, they're both in different directions, and you're gonna just take your other pliers and you're gonna twist it, and that's how it should look like. So it should be one flat piece, and you're going to make quite a few of these. There's about 20, I think, you're gonna have to make, but it depends, because you're gonna be doing this in segments, and depending how big your head is and how loose you want the headband to be, or the headdress to be, and then again how much of the elastic you have as well is going to be a key factor. So you're going to be repeating this step quite a few times, and again you can evaluate how many you want to make, because we're going to be doing this in 3 different sections. There's going to be the 2 side sections as well as the front section, and then your connector pieces will go together. So of course, after you make all of your connector pieces there, this is what they'll look like at the end. There's about 20 in my hand, but you'll need to make more, as I said, because you're going to be doing this headdress in 3 different sections. Next thing you'll need your 2 pieces, your 2 connector pieces, as well as your little connector pieces in the Blue Moon package. You're going to open it, and they do come sealed in different packages and different Ziplocs. You're going to take your connectors out. There's about 14 pieces, I think, or something along those lines, 14, 12 pieces, and this is what they look like. So you're going to take your needle nose pliers, and you're going to open up that little loop that you made earlier on. And then you're going to take your little connectors that you bought from the Blue Moon package and then close it up. At this point, it doesn't really matter which end you open it from, as long as you are able to connect it and then close it. Also, a good tip when you're making the actual loop in the first few steps, that you want to make it big enough, because otherwise if it's not big enough, then it'll just be there won't be a fluid movement in the headdress, so it'll be kind of like choppy and, you know, probably end up hurting you. And then we're going to take a separate piece, like a second beaded piece, and open that up. And then connect it to the same end. Now I just did it this way because it was easier for me, but you don't have to do two at the same end. You can do one at each end and then connect two others at each end as well. But I just did it this way because I found that it was just easier for me. And then you're going to take two others and do the same thing. So essentially you'll end up with one connector piece and four beaded pieces in total, where two will be on each end. After you've connected your four beaded pieces, you're going to take another little connector piece and attach that to one of the four pieces that you have. So you're essentially making a little line of connectors and beaded pieces together so that you can eventually just build this up into one of the three segments that we talked about earlier. That'll be the pieces to your headdress. So you're going to make about 3 segments, 7 of the small connectors together with about 14 of the beaded connectors that you made. So you're going to make 3 segments of 7 and 14 small connectors. And essentially this is what they're going to look like all together. The longer one is actually going to be 8. And that's just the one that's going to go across your forehead. So you have in total 14 and 22 small connectors in 3 different segments, where 2 is 7, 1 is 8 ones. And you can decide which one you want. Now you're going to take your head pins. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 or 10 there. You don't have to have as much as that, or you can have more. It depends what you want, how much fringe you want. You'll also need your little glass beads again, the black and gold ones, to make this one. And then you're going to bring in your small, thin, long beads, because essentially you're going to be having these hang off as the little fringe. So you're going to take your head pin, and this one with the flat end on it, if you didn't know. And then you're going to take your small glass gold and black bead, and it's going to just sit at the end there. And then you're going to take your longer bead and you're going to thread that through as well. And then again a gold and black bead, and then your black thin bead again. So this is the pattern that I came up with. It doesn't have to be super long. These little fringes were short, and this is what it's going to look like. So you're going to have 2 gold and black beads, and you're going to have 2 long black beads. And then at the end, you're going to finish it off with 1 black and gold bead. So you're going to have 3 gold and black beads total, and then 2 other longer beads. And then you're going to take your needle nose plier again, or the thinner version anyway, and then you're going to twist it the same way. So you're going to bend it so it makes a loop, 90 degrees first, and then you're going to bend it backwards to make a loop. You don't necessarily have to do it that way. You can always just immediately do it onto a loop, or curl it into a loop. But essentially this is what it's going to look like, because you're going to have that hanging off of the big connector that you chose. So that's a pattern that I came up with. Okay, so once you have finished all of them, there's about 8 here that I made. You're going to take the little connecting pieces, the little jump rings that you got in the Blue Moon package. So take your connector, the big one that you chose, that you're going to have the little fringe detailing on it. So again, you'll need about 8 of these, and this is what it looks like when it's open. And then you're going to take your jump ring and you're going to put it through, just like that. Ideally, you're going to have the closing part of your loop face the inside of your connector, so it's just like a nice clean finish and you don't see any seams. Then you're going to put it through your connector, whichever side you want it to be, and you're going to take your pliers and you're going to essentially just close the jump ring, and you're going to continue that step until you finish looping everything through. Okay, so now that you have finished connecting everything through to your big connector, this is what it's going to look like with the 8 fringe pieces onto your big connector. This is what your 2 bigger connectors should look like when they're all connected with each other, in terms of the fringe on one end and then the other one that you chose. And again, you're just going to attach everything together, and this is what it looks like when your 3 segments are attached, as well as your 2 connectors. The second last step you're going to do is you're going to take your black elastic thread that we had earlier, and you're going to take a piece of tape, because what I found out with this is that because there's thread wrapped around the actual elastic part of it, it's a lot more, it fringes more. So you're going to take your headband, you're going to turn it outside in, and you're going to basically thread your black elastic through the last 2 small connectors, and this black thread part will be at the back of your head, like an actual headband. Once you threaded through your black elastic thread, you can just tie a knot like that, and then you can cut off the excess thread at the end, and basically you're done. You've made your Great Gatsby styled headdress. It doesn't actually need to be just like a Great Gatsby type thing. You can also wear it as a nice pretty headband when you're going out. Happy creating!